with Collard Valley Cooks. I'm going to turn on my water. I want it to get hot. I'm going to start some bacon, and then we're going to throw our biscuits in the oven. I've got the oven at 425, and we're going to make 2 ingredient biscuits today. It's so easy. Anybody can make it. And I happen to have some whipping cream left over, and it's going to go out of date in a couple of days. And I'm like, I can make 2 ingredient biscuits with it. So that's what we're doing. May's coming over to eat. We're going to have breakfast. And Chris wants gravy. Don't you, baby?
Oh, yeah.
Do you want grits as well or just gravy?
Nah, gravy's all right.
Okay. So we're starting this bacon. And we'll come back over there and check on it in a minute. And we got to get some grease in here for the biscuits. All right. Now then, 2 ingredients. Self-rising flour, heavy whipping cream. That's all there is to it. My hands got a little grease on it. I'm not going to wash it off because I'm about to get it dirty anyway. Did you already have a scooper out for me? Yes, you did. And I'm going to turn that bacon down in just a minute, if you're wondering. So we're going to use 2 cups of self-rising flour, and this is White Lily, winter white wheat, super fluffy. It's equivalent to a cake flour. If you wonder why we like our White Lily so much, it is so light and airy, it's equivalent to a cake flour. And I learned that because I bought a cake recipe book. And it was all the classic Southern cakes, and they had a write-up in there about White Lily. It's pretty cool. All right.
If you can't get self-rising flour, then yours are not going to be 2 ingredient biscuits. One of the ingredients is self-rising flour.
Yes, self-rising flour is what makes the 2 ingredients. So if you're somewhere that you can't get it, then you'll just be making, you'll just have to add the
salt and the
baking powder. And I believe it's a half teaspoon of salt, and to be on the safe side, just put in 2 teaspoons of baking powder. So what you do when you make these biscuits is you just add enough until they're all stuck together. How easy is that? So there's what it is somebody told me too the other day, I wondered if whole buttermilk had as much fat in it as heavy whipping cream. We're about to look and see. It says that the total fat in this is 5 grams for a tablespoon. Let me look at my buttermilk.
I believe it's 36% is what whipping cream is, at least 36%.
You know how much fat's in this?
How much?
But this is whole buttermilk, 8 grams. That means, yes, you could. Somebody told me, no, you couldn't because it didn't have the same amount of fat or didn't have enough fat. But I'm not talking about the buttermilk that most people buy that's low fat. I'm talking about a cultured whole buttermilk. It's a lot different. So it's got more fat in it than this heavy whipping cream. Huh. So you can make 2 ingredient biscuits out of a whole buttermilk. And just omit the, what do you call it? Shortening. All right. I need to flip these, my dear. My dear, my dear. What's my thing? Burning them up. Burning them up, burning them up. Boy, I'm hungry. I should have done some whipping cream and some buttermilk. If I'd have known, I would have. We'd have just seen the difference in them. All right, I turn that down again. I'll turn it way down. All right. I got to get these in the oven. I'm just yakking, running my mouth. Don't even have the biscuits in the oven. I've been thinking, I don't know why, but I was thinking it was Sunday earlier. I've lost my mind. All right, here we go. I thought I saw something on my counter. Have to have a clean counter to do this. Put your whipping cream in your flour, and then you're just going to lay your dough out on the table. Now, if you want to make them, like hand roll them, you can do that. But I'm going to be honest with you, this whipping cream makes a really sticky dough. It's super sticky. Super sticky. Super sticky. Super duper sticky. And it's heavy too. What do I do with my, there it is. And I guess it's up to you how much you want to, this dough is kind of stiff, so I'm not going to fold it a lot. I don't know, I might. I can't make up my mind. I know the first time I made these, they were good, but they're not as, to me, they're good, but they're not as good as, I don't think, my regular biscuits.
Buttermilk or sour cream biscuit.
Yeah. Because I like the taste of the buttermilk. I do. All right, let's use this one. So if you want them to rise pretty tall, you need to make sure and cut them pretty tall, okay? And the consistency of these is completely different than a regular biscuit. They're heavy and more dense. And then, you know what I'm going to do real quick? I'm going to make another batch of buttermilk. Because I want to.
Just to see how they do.
Yes, I am. Y'all just pretend like I did something with that for now. We're going to just check this out.
In the entrance of science.
Yes. We're going to see which one tastes better. If I'd have thought about it, done sour cream as well. I love sour cream biscuits. All right, there's my flour. And this time, I guess I could go ahead and do a 2-cup. And this time, we're adding whole buttermilk. And it's thick. Well, let me shake it.
I was going to say, shake it up.
All right. It looks thicker than the whipping cream. I tell y'all all the time that I love whole buttermilk. And Lord, I do. So you just add enough that your flour sticks together. I can tell you right now, this dough is completely different than that. This is super heavy. Matter of fact, I put a little bit too much in here. But we're still just using 2 ingredients, even if we're just making buttermilk, okay? But they're easier to mix too. But now a lot of y'all can't get whole buttermilk, so you can't even do it. Most people can't. Kroger carries it. They carry this brand in this little bitty jug with a green top. Woo, that's so soft, y'all. Y'all see how soft that is and how workable that is? Wow, that's a big difference.
It's completely different.
It's completely, here, I'm going to do it this way, different. And I'm even going to fold it a few times so that y'all don't think I didn't fold it enough. All right. A lot of people think that you can fold it too much, but if you got a good dough, it ain't gonna hurt to fold it. All right, let's cut these out. Wait a minute. I got to make sure and get them as tall as those. I don't think that's as tall. For it to be really a comparison.
They may rise different, you know.
I bet they will.
One may rise higher than the other one.
Bet they will. So if you're coming on, we made the first batch out of whipping cream and self-rising flour. And this is the second batch that we're making out of whole buttermilk. It's 8% fat. So.
No, it's not 8%.
Yes, it is.
8 grams per.
Oh, I know what you mean.
Yeah, it's not 8% fat.
It's 8 grams, 10% fat. 10% fat is what my whole buttermilk is, and the whipping cream is 7% fat. So, well, that's weird, ain't it? It says it's 70. I guess it's 7% is the percentage of the actual formula that makes the product. It's just weird because on the heavy whipping cream it's 5 grams, but then they say it's 7%.
It's, yeah. We probably need to Google that because
wait a minute.
No telling what it's.
That's right.
Yeah.
And this is 10%.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay.
All right, y'all. There they are. I'm not going to pat the tops of them with buttermilk like lots of times I do. We're just going to throw them in here and see how they turn out. And I just let my bacon get greasy as greasy can be. Chris cannot stand it like that. So I'm going to heat it back up. Chris will not eat bacon if it's been sitting in fat like that. And lots of times when you go out to eat, now I guess what I'll do is just cut up a few of these while we got time, because all I'm doing is making gravy. And stick them in the freezer. You can freeze these before you bake them, but just remember that if you're going to cook them, it's going to take a lot longer to cook a frozen biscuit. You can cook a regular biscuit in 15 minutes, but if you get a frozen biscuit like this out of the freezer, it's going to take probably 30 minutes and a lower temperature to cook them. I can tell you right now, I think that buttermilk's going to be better, but that's me. So.
Well, we're prejudiced for the buttermilk.
Yeah, we're a little prejudiced. No, I don't think it's going to be just that. I think the texture and everything's going to be completely different.
Uh-huh.
All right, there's my biscuits. And I personally don't even think I'm going to keep. I guess I can. One more. It's almost like Play-Doh.
The whipping cream ones?
Yeah. Oh. And a lot of y'all will be like, well, you didn't put enough liquid in it. Yes, I did. It's just the consistency it made.
Yeah, if you put too much liquid, they don't.
Right.
Yeah, they're going to come apart. They're not come apart, but they won't rise.
All right, we're going to get over here and get this meat going. All we're having is bacon, I guess, ain't it?
Eggs and gravy.
All right. Let me turn this on. All right, y'all. Watch that bacon while I wash my hands. So tell me what you did today. Yeah, when we go out to eat, Chris will be like, there's one place we go pretty regular, and they have bacon, and Chris won't order it because that's how it looks when they bring it to the table, like it's got grease all over it. And I think it's because they cook it in the oven. And I know a lot of y'all like to cook your bacon in the oven, But I think what happens with these restaurants is they put it in the oven on a sheet pan, and they don't have a drainer under it.
They let it sit in that grease.
Yeah, they let it sit in the grease, and then they serve it to you. And Chris just don't like that. He's picky. He is picky. I can't even make banana pudding unless I make meringue. He's a picky man. But he does have me as a cook, so I guess he can be.
Her fault.
My fault. Back before I met him, he ate spaghetti and meatballs all the time. He still does. Not all the time, but we still eat them. More regular than you would think. The older you get, the tireder you get. So you start, I know a lot of old people eat soup out of a can. They do. They eat soup. I got to get these out. Will you scoot those to the back? Just scoot them back to the back. There you go. Y'all, I just stuck these nails on. They're the sticky kind that you get at Dollar General for like $5. The Kiss brand, Kiss, like the singer. Oh, yes. Kiss was popular when I was young. I never got to see him in concert.
No.
I know. It's not Kiss. It's not Kiss, that band. I don't like that band at all. The rock and roll Kiss
Who
band.
are you talking about?
Prince. Because he sings
Prince.
Kiss.
Oh, okay. I was thinking, what in the world are you talking about?
But you know, there was a band called Kiss.
Yes.
You know I ain't going to be promoting them. They're the ones that had all the crazy makeup, and I just never liked that Southern rock.
There were not.
What are they then?
They weren't even.
What are they then?
Don't worry about it. She didn't like them.
They're not heavy metal.
She just didn't like them.
I liked heavy metal, believe it or not.
Okay.
But they weren't that. They were more like, I don't know what. The rock back in the 70s. How's that? Or were they were 70s, weren't they? They were not 80s.
Yes, they're 70s.
Chris is like,
I'm ready to move on to the next subject.
I know why. We're live. I always talk about stuff.
Uh-huh.
Whatever comes to mind.
We'll talk about this weekend.
Oh, my goodness. I've lost my mind. Okay, well, let me flip this over, and then we're going to talk about a couple that's YouTubers, and we actually got to go see them. And we had so much fun. I want to go back. And that is, we went to Charleston, South Carolina, and we got to see the farming pastor's wife, which is her and her husband. It's Leslie and Bryant. Bryant. I don't ever say it right. Bryant, I'll never say your name right, especially if Chris is standing next to me. Makes me nervous. All right. Why are you cooking so fast?
Because you had it turned on.
Okay. Sorry, I can't.
The farming pastor's wife.
Yes.
That was the name.
Okay.
Of their channel.
So they have a chicken farm, and they raise chickens for sale. So there's lots of chickens, like
tens of thousands
of chickens. They have chicken houses.
Yeah.
They have so many chickens. They have.
Does have a lot of chickens.
Yes.
They sell them.
And she's a true farm girl. She's like me. She knows about farm life. You don't get attached to stuff, you know. Of course, she don't have pet chickens. She don't even have any laying chickens. But y'all, they are a sweet little couple, and we had so much fun with them this weekend. We stayed at the Mill House in Charleston just one night because it was so expensive. And we ate at Hank's seafood restaurant. And Leslie and Bryant bought our dinner. And then we went over to a dessert place. Do you remember the name of it? Kaminsky's. And then the next morning we had breakfast at
Miller's All Day.
Miller's All Day.
I think that's it.
And so we enjoyed ourselves a lot. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. This is about ready.
So she cooks really similar. A lot of the things that she makes, just like Tammy. So if you go over there and see her, tell her we said hello.
Yes, y'all go see her. I tell you what, I was busy forking this and thinking. But anyway, y'all need to go over to her channel and hit the like button and subscribe because she's got like 140,000 subs. She started the same year I did. So we got to get her up to par. Y'all go hit the subscribe button and we need to get her some more subscribers. Okay? Because I started in 2017.
And we usually don't do a lot of shout outs for people.
No, I don't.
Because we want to make sure that they're going to have a channel and they're going to have plenty of videos for you guys to look at.
Right, and she does.
And a lot of people want to start off and get somebody to, make 5 or 6 videos and get somebody to
shout them out.
Yeah, and that's this. We want you to go where it's a real channel.
Right. I wouldn't give anyone a shout out unless they have at least 100 videos.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're established.
And I don't care how long they've been on YouTube. If they don't have 100 current videos, then I wouldn't shout them out because I wouldn't want to mislead y'all or send y'all somewhere that I didn't think, y'all were going to get to really watch.
Yeah, they got to have enough content for you to really go.
Yeah.
Watch them.
Yeah. Or they should.
Mm-hmm.
So all we're going to do now is make some of these eggs. Lord knows we got plenty of them. We're going to check on our biscuits.
Are they rising?
Yeah.
They're about the same?
They're totally different looking.
Yeah, they are, aren't they?
Yeah.
Wow. This is going to be.
Y'all see those when they come out.
Be very interesting.
Now, I'm going to go ahead and make the gravy, I think.
Okay.
And then we will make
the eggs.
Yeah.
Nope.
Do you want this in your gravy? Since it's bacon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. Be good.
Sometimes he says no. I always ask. He's not always in the mood for it. All right, we'll make some gravy. And then biscuits will come out right when we're ready to eat. They will, they will. You can go ahead and hand me that gravy whisk over there, baby.
Okay.
And I'm going to get me some more flour in the sifter. Now, if you use a half cup of grease, oil, bacon grease, butter, whatever you use for gravy, you use a half cup, you're supposed to come back with that much flour.
Okay.
And so, there's our delicious butter.
Butter and bacon together.
That's the best ever. Very good. Salt. I use salted butter too, so keep that in mind. Pepper. And maybe I need milk.
Okay.
Maybe we're about out of milk.
Mm-hmm.
Is this all we got?
Yep.
Probably have to add some water to it.
Okay, enough.
I don't know. Now, when you make gravy, you're really supposed to mix it up as soon as you know, you add the flour. But that's one reason I love this gravy whisk, is it gets rid of the lumps. And that's one reason I use a sifter when I make gravy, because it sifts the flour into the pan, and that way you don't have to worry about it being lumpy. I'm going to get this to see how much milk is actually in here.
She get ready to put her milk up.
No. No.
Skip the step. Here you go.
I was going to say I had 3 cups. Close enough.
Yeah.
Now, this is not whole milk. We don't drink whole milk. I'll have to rinse that out for the recycle. But it is 2% milk. So if you're making good white sauce, as some people call it, some people use, Mama always used whole milk. I got to turn this up or it's not going to get brown. I need to look at these.
Okay. Well, look at the difference in them. Good night.
It's a big difference.
Yeah. Oh.
Now the buttermilk ones look naughty, but they'll be good. All right. I just turn those around in there, y'all, because they always get more brown on the right-hand side of the oven, because that's where the fan apparently starts. I'm turning this sucker up. It's hard to, when you're cooking with gas, and I haven't had this oven long enough to know exactly on the dial what it's doing. And it is so different, even with different eyes. You're better off just picking up your pot and looking to see what you have it on when you turn it up and down, because it may not be what you think. So all we got to do is finish this up, scramble some eggs. Hey, I know it drives everybody crazy, Chris, because I don't put milk in my eggs and fluff them up. Do you want me to do that today? I don't have any more milk. But
you can put water in.
I mean, I like them just like that.
You can just mix them up.
I personally think, now I guess some people like it light and airy, fluffy eggs, but I personally like just plain old egg in some butter. And I think back in the day, our parents did it to make them go further. I do. I think they put milk in them because it makes them puffy and it makes them look like there's more eggs.
Huh.
I really do. I think they did that to make them go further. But Lord knows we got enough eggs for the whole neighborhood.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, if you live in the neighborhood and you want some eggs, you can come down here and get some. For real. I'm not kidding.
Thank you, Linda, for that gift.
Ooh, somebody send us some money. All right, let's pour this in here. Now you want to brown your flour because flour is raw and it has a good flavor once you brown it. And it's not going to have that flavor if you add your milk before that gets brown, okay? So that's why we were waiting. We were waiting on that eye to get good and hot and that flour to turn nice and golden brown. And that's when you add your liquid. And of course, we have all these recipes in our recipe books. If you're interested in those, we do. We look in here. These are ready. I got to take these out. Ready. I got to decide what I want to do. I got a million things going at one time. I want them to sell something.
And we've got them on CollarValleyCooks.com too, if you want to. So you can either get a recipe book.
See, they're a lot browner on the top. These aren't brown enough, but I guess they'll pass. They're plenty brown on the bottom.
Yeah. Is this, so these are the...
Chris, I got to do this right quick.
Okay.
Didn't we get it?
Okay.
I don't want this to boil over. I mean, I might, it's still not thick. Come on over here. So this is the whipping cream biscuits over here. They rose taller.
They're pretty.
Yeah, they're pretty.
Ooh.
I might get proved wrong.
But they don't have the buttermilk flavor. So
well, no, that's what we like. Yeah. So those, all those that I just buttered are the whipping cream biscuits. They really show up pretty on the top and nice and smooth. And then the buttermilk biscuits are all lumpy and fat like me.
Oh, damn. Shame on you.
Lumpy and fat. It's what happens when you eat your cornbread and milk with buttermilk. Get lumpy and fat.
All right, here we go over here. You better. Come on, girl.
Hey, I got it.
Just in time.
I got it. Now, gravy will actually, if you don't know this, if you have not made it much, it will actually boil over. And it kind of, it's like it starts bubbling up. And so you usually have to pour it up pretty quick.
Where you going to put it in? Girl?
Hand me the thing back up here, Chris.
Where?
It's in
What
the
thing?
sink.
This milk?
Yes.
There you go. Yeah. Here we go. Ooh, careful. Perfect.
It worked. All right. We're not going to make eggs in that.
Nope.
So the whole reason we came on today is so that y'all could see 2-ingredient biscuits made. And the cool thing is that we made them 2 different ways.
Yeah.
All right. And we're about to taste them. Let me get these eggs started. And I'll go ahead and taste the biscuits in case you're on here just for the biscuits. Let me get something to beat them with. Did May ever come in?
No.
It's time for her. Time for her to get here, Daddy. Beat them. I usually salt and pepper them once they're in the skillet. I usually beat them once they're in the skillet most of the time, don't I, Chris?
Yes.
Oh, but Chris usually beats his when he don't wait, usually.
She is on here. Hey, Leslie, how you doing?
Aw. Hey, Leslie. I didn't know if we could invite you to go live with us or not. You know, I've seen that happen, but I've never, me and Chris were afraid that we wouldn't do it right. Or I'd have just had you like clipped into the video.
Yeah, we weren't sure.
That would be really cool. But I told everybody to visit, and I gave them this sign.
The sign for y'all.
And she makes gravy and stuff just like I do.
Well, we've been watching her for years, but this is the first time that we had met them, you know.
Right. Lord.
What's wrong?
Do what?
I said, what's wrong?
It's cold.
Oh. Well,
It's cold. All right, let's open a biscuit.
here we go.
Leslie, I made 2-ingredient biscuits 2 ways. Buttermilk had 8% fat, and these are whipping cream biscuits, and they were not 8%. These are 10% fat, and these are 7% fat. Whipping cream, heavy whipping cream versus buttermilk, just 1 ingredient. And I like to flip them out because they sweat on the bottom if you don't. And you can pre-bake them if you want to, but I'm going to freeze these over here. But look at the difference in the biscuits. They're a lot different.
Sure are. So that's the first time we've ever made buttermilk biscuits without shortening in them. So it's going to be interesting to see what they
Tastes like. Oh, I got to get salt and pepper on here.
Yep.
Leslie does about 4 videos a week. She said she works hard. She's got grandbabies, got chickens to feed. I don't know how much she works on the farm, but I would imagine She works. All right, if you like cheese in your eggs, then throw some in there. If you like them good and done, then make them dry. If you like them wet, then make them wet. However you like them. That's how you need to make your eggs. Eggs are funny. All right, there's our eggs. I don't really want these to get real hot. So I'm going to put them in there.
Huh.
All right.
Here we go.
This is our breakfast for dinner. Beautiful bacon, eggs, 2 different kinds of 2-ingredient biscuits. All right, this is the buttermilk. We're going to open it up. Super soft crumb. I shape like that the older I get. All right, and then this is the whipping cream biscuit. And do you know it's not as dense as I thought it would be?
Yeah, the dough
It's
was
like
heavy.
crumb.
Yeah, it is.
The biggest problem I had with it was that it.
You mean before?
Yes. I mean, because I never made 2-ingredient biscuits, and they're good, but they were a little like when you put it in your mouth and you chew it up, it's pasty a little bit, more than a regular biscuit. I'm gonna try it with some bacon. All right, this is the whipping cream biscuit. It's pasty. Like, look right here. When you take a bite, see how it looks? And it's done. It's done. It's just how it's just the way that they are.
It's just a different texture than what we're used to.
Right. All right, and this is a buttermilk, just no shortening, just buttermilk. Let's see how it does. It's my favorite. Now, I'll taste them separately by themselves.
Is it the same way? Is it pasty?
I can taste the buttermilk.
Yeah.
It's kind of pasty.
Yeah. So it's not like a regular buttermilk biscuit.
Well, let me say this. Shortening. Lord. Shortening. A lot of people don't want to put shortening in their biscuits because they don't think they can or they don't know how. Shortening is cut up about the size of a pea. And when shortening goes into the oven in your biscuit mix, that actually makes your biscuit fluff and get its texture. So a shortening biscuit is better than a biscuit that's not made without it, to me.
Now, does butter do the exact same thing?
I don't think butter is as light as shortening.
Yeah.
So it's a little more dense.
Okay.
If you make a biscuit out of butter. Now, you can make a biscuit out of butter. I've seen people make them out of oil. Really, you can make them. But the #1 way to make a really, really good biscuit is white lily self-rising flour, shortening, and whole buttermilk. But now these are good. Don't get me wrong. Most people would just love them. They're way better than what we got out in public the other day. I mean, and it was even good, but it wasn't this good, you know. So it'll be a lot better than the biscuits that you get served in the restaurant. But that's it, y'all. I guess I could make my plate. And then we'll get off here. And everybody, remember what I said and give Leslie a visit over there, the farming pastor's wife.
Oh, you're going to make a gravy biscuit. I was thinking, what's she doing?
Going crazy.
Mm-hmm. There she goes.
I'm crazy as a loon. All right. Well, when you get to cooking in here, this is so different. Look at that, the textures. Look at that.
Which one's which?
You can't tell.
No, I wasn't paying no attention.
This one
That's
is the whipping cream. It's flakier.
Yeah. Okay.
It's flakier.
Gotcha.
This one is
It really is a lot different, isn't it?
completely different.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And if I did another kind, it might be even different than that. You know, if I had put shortening in it. So y'all got to see a biscuit made with buttermilk. That's that one. And a biscuit made with whipping cream. And all this is really fattening because we're using all this whole milk. Woo!
So there's more than one way to make a biscuit.
One way to skin a cat.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine that. Imagine that. And get me some eggs. There you go. Let's see. Let me get me a bite of biscuit and gravy, and then we'll sign off and go. That's probably Paul calling you. All right. I'm going to get a bite of this one right here. This is buttermilk with just self-rising flour. The gravy's so good. Gravy's good. All right, let me taste the whipping cream and see which one tastes better with gravy. Gosh, that's hard.
So if you live in a place where you can't get buttermilk, use whipping cream.
Sour cream.
Or sour cream.
Good. My favorite biscuit of all is sour cream. They are just so good and so moist and so delicious. All right. Y'all have a blessed day. And we will see you next time on Colored Valley Cooks, where we cook like Mama did. Bye, y'all. Love you.